Peace and love, peace and love. It's going to be real quick. My phone is about to die, but I wanted to say some stuff real quick. So whether people can jump on or whether you catch this later or whatever, I'm just trying to beat my charge on my phone before my phone dies. But I wanted to get into some things really quick. For one, with this Mercury retrograde, and for two, talking about pain and talking about the things we've experienced. All of us have experienced, but also knowing how to collect on those things. And so that's why I put that in the title. If you can understand your pain, you can understand your gains, and you can understand your wins. And a lot of us have lost, and a lot of us are still losing, or we feel like it, or have missed out. And so you don't know what your bliss look like, or when you finally do get it, a lot of us don't know what to do, or you question it. You question your bliss. You question the things that come into your space that are meant just for you, because you don't know your value and how much you're worth. And a lot of us go back to the things we've done in the past, and so you know yourself, and so you're trying to measure yourself and all of that. And then you just have to go back to how you've been conditioned in a lot of ways. And so peace and love, Kevin, peace and love, Akeem, peace and love, everybody. Like I said, I'm trying to beat my phone dying. I only have like 11%, so I know I normally talk fast anyway, but I might try to talk kind of fast so my phone doesn't die while I'm live. But this was just on me at the time, so I want to go ahead and jump in while it's fresh in me. I said I was going to start going live more often, but especially when I'm feeling something. And so I want to be vocal and share this because I feel like this can help a lot of people, because I've had to say this a couple of times today throughout my conversations. Peace and love, Terrell. Peace and love, Joe. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. So you know what your pain looks like. You know what your lessons look like. You know what the worst has looked like for you. Whether you've lost people in your life, whether you've lost things, all of those things. You crashed your vehicle, which is yourself. So you've had your lesson. And a lot of us are still getting the repairs done. A lot of us are at the salvage yard right now, and that's quite okay. But the thing is, you also need to trust your bliss and the good things that come your way. And so there's nothing wrong with being accountable. So a lot of us, we'll look back and we'll think back to things where we went wrong, and things we've done wrong, or where we might not have always gone right by other people. And so we try to measure ourselves. So like I say, accountability is great. Accountability is everything. But the divine is the best accountant. And so the divine knows your heart, and the divine knows your intentions. And so you don't have to be too hard on yourself about the things you've done in the past, or what you've done with your dog self, your lower self, all as well, because you have to bounce back. And so, like I say, when good things come in our way and things go in our favor, we question it and we stutter about it, and we don't know how to handle it, or we get nervous about it because we don't know when things are going to change. And so that's why I say we get nervous with our bliss, but we comfortable with things going wrong. We used to that as a people. And so I want us to be able to train our minds differently and condition our minds a different way, and adjust to things that go in our favor, because we get nervous when things go good. We always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I don't want us to keep training ourselves that way, because a lot of us have anxiety issues as it is, and a lot of us are still just struggling and dealing with triggers from things from our past as it is. And so you don't even know what your happiness looks like. And so good when the things go wrong. And that's probably the best thing. I always say you want to be able to make money off your pain, because you can. And that's what the transmutation of things are. But also when things go right, enjoy that ride and enjoy it, and ride it out. And a lot of us don't do that. Peace and love, Tremaine. Peace and love. And I just wanted everybody to understand that. Know how to lose so you know how to win. But when you lose, your wins have so much more quality to it. And so a lot of us have too much pride to lose, and you don't want to do that. This Mercury retrograde is going to test everybody's pride. And so I wanted to get into that, because that goes back to, you got to know what to get rid of. And everybody wins different, and everybody loses different. And so once you know that everybody's appetite is different, you will change your behaviors towards what competition looks like, or what hating looks like. Everybody wins different, because everybody has failed and lost differently. And so we don't have to compare ourselves to other people, And then so The Mercury retrograde is cleaning out our rooms. The Mercury retrograde is making us clear out our mind, our body, and our spirit, and making us go back and be thorough about connections we've had, put people we've gotten with, and decisions we've made. So that's why this is a spiritual pause that we're all experiencing right now about what to do in the next move to make. And so looking back over the details and areas where you may have had losses, that is okay, because your loss, like I say, all of it, you can still gain off of that. There's value and there's a jewel somewhere in the bullshit, somewhere. And so there's patience in everything that you're doing so you can gather it. And so being observant is important during this retrograde. It is a pause. And so it's pausing back to everything till the beginning of January. So think about different situations you were in and people you were around, because it's going to be a test to all of those things. So new jobs, contracts, all those things are going to be tested. And the universe is giving you a magnifying glass to double check and make sure that your answer is what you want your answer to be. So that full moon in Leo, I always say, is just like the full moon in Leo was exposure, true? So we were all receiving things and it was great, but it was also exposure on what we needed to pay attention to. And so that full moon in Leo pretty much pulled everything from under your bed and pulled everything out your closets of life and just left it on the floor. And that's Mercury retrograding is telling you to clean that shit up and go through it and sort through it. And so that full moon in Leo was amazing for a lot of us. But that full moon in Leo, like I said, was acknowledging what needed to be looked at. Your shadow work of not having courage in certain things and not expressing yourself in certain things. What I do like, what I don't like, or however. So we need to be able to express ourselves and have a whole lot of power at our solar plexus. Okay? We got to know how to win. Okay? But in order to win, you got to take structure and pay attention to your losses. All right? And so that's why I say lose to win. You got to look at the winner. You got to see how the winner won. So be observant in your losses. That's why it's really just a game. And so that's why I say pay attention to everything. And so that's why I say everybody eats different. What is a loss to you may not really be a loss, or what's a win for somebody else may not be that for you. So everybody eats different. And so that's why when you're around other people and the things that they take pride in and the things that work for them, that may not work for you, and that's okay. And so we have to think about that. When you see people coming up, and that's the thing too, when other people are coming up and doing very well, all right, and a lot of people, you can tell they want you to be mad. They're trying to get some type of energy off of you, off of their success. All that's doing is people are letting you know how they felt when you was doing good, or you are somebody that was on their mind, or you rubbed them the wrong way at some point when they wasn't where they are. And so that's why a lot of people, they can't wait to show you what they got going on, bragging to you, all those things. That's showing you how they eat, that's how they win, and that's how they got to do things. But that's also showing you that in lower self, they have been watching you. They felt some kind of way. Because when some people come up, it's certain people they want to be around. It's certain people they got to see. You know, they got to let see them and all of that. And so pay attention to that. You know, people that get their new car, they want everybody to see it, but they want you to see it. They get them a new man, new woman, whatever. But there's certain people they want to make sure. All right, because when they was struggling, when they was hungry, when they was starving for those things, they was watching you, and that's why they want a certain reaction out of you. There's certain people, so you have to think about that. You know, so certain things, it's not just when you're winning who's watching you. Sometimes it's like I say, when they winning, how they're trying to let it affect you. And so you'll be completely genuinely happy for other people. But the fact that they want to get under your skin, that's just like I say, it's showing to you at some point they felt very low around you and about something you were doing, which is why they want some effect off of whatever. Pay attention to things like that. And so all is well. This retrograde is exposing a whole lot. And so I always say the retrograde is almost like a 3-week long full moon. It's exposure. It's revealing things. It's helping you see clear. Okay? And so you need this. You need it. Everything that makes you uncomfortable, you need it. You need to know what your discomfort looks like. You need to know what your discomfort feels like. You need to know what betrayal looks like, feels like, all of those things. And so this Mercury retrograde is talking about your outside eyes, but it's also your inside eyes. How things look internally, okay, spiritually, when you're connected inside, when you're meditating and when you're praying. Those are your real eyes. That's your real clear sight. That's your 20/20 vision. All right. When you're opening your eyes and when you're looking outside of you, those things are not always real. People, places, and things. Okay. Fiction. All right. And so that's why I say all those things can be dressed up on the outside. You have to really look at things clear about how you breathe around certain people and in different situations. All right. And so this is what spirit is telling you. And this is how you follow the spirit in different situations. And so I want to get into that because a lot of people don't know how to trust themselves. And like I say, they go by how things look. Somebody that looks good, somebody that, a situation that looks good, people that look good on paper. But how you feeling? How does it make you feel? You know what I mean? How do they make you feel? Are they in tune with you here? Are they making you uncomfortable here? So all of that. Are they in tune? Because spirit will definitely let you know. So all is well. You'll feel it in your body. Peace and love. Oh, peace and love, Silas. Peace and love. Peace and love, Portia. Peace and love, my girl. Peace and love, everybody. So, like I say, cleaning under your room with that Mercury retrograde and not being scared of what you find. And like I always say, when you're cleaning through your closet, when you're going through stuff, you also find stuff you needed, stuff you haven't seen in a while, things that you can take with you now. And you need to let go of what you don't need. And so that Mercury retrograde is definitely saying you can't go outside and play until you clean up your room. And the only time you can have a friend is if that friend gonna help you clean up. So the same way your mama will tell you that you can't have company, they're gonna help you clean up. Okay, and so the Mercury retrograde is friendships that I have, friendships that I've built, but also friendships that can get me through. And so not everybody's going to make it in your life through this part of your life right now when the universe is, I call it a rewind. We're rewinding your movie and helping you see something more clear. So that's why now you get to look at the details the second time around when you're watching this movie. People, places, and things. People that you thought you couldn't trust, maybe you can. People you thought that you can't trust, or, people that you can trust, you thought you could trust, you probably can't. You got to watch the movie over and you got to watch it twice, and more than once and be very thorough. And it's more, it's easier to think about the outcome and how it's going to turn out. And so that lets you know moving forward when the retrograde is over about decisions that you make. And so think about your money, jobs, love, the whole deal. The whole deal. That's why I call it second chances. When people spin back into your life, exes, old jobs, old friends, old clients, all of that is a test to everything you just gained, all that integrity that you just gained from Capricorn season. So now that we're retrograding in Aquarius season, that's why it's going back to all those choices and all these options and all these people and situations that came into your space since Aquarius season has started. So like I say, that full moon in Leo was exposure. Exposure on how much courage you have, how much loyalty there is, or how much loyalty you don't have, or that is much still needed in a situation. And also, that full moon in Leo was I call it your report card. That was your report card about the past 6 months, and that was your report card of showing you your shadow work and what you need to work on to finish getting through Aquarius season. And so, we needed that. The embarrassment, the drama, whatever happened, you need it. Okay, you need all of that to get through. You need to know what it looks like, and you need to learn how to adjust when things happen. And so that's why the universe, the better you're going to be and the better your alignment looks like, the more uncomfortable that you're going to be and the more obstacles come your way, because the universe is always going to test your vehicle, right? You're a vehicle with a lot of different features, true? And so a lot of us are magical and have different gifts and have a lot of different things that we're good at. And so in order to be great and in order for us to put you on the road, we got to test it first. And so this is why, even with that post I posted the other day, you got to learn how to be on different types of terrain in order to really say that this is a really good vehicle, to really say that, hey, you can trust this is a safe vehicle. This person uses their wisdom and all of those things. And you also have to crash a couple of times, which is why we have, the test dummies and all of that. All of that is for a reason. We need to know how this works. So you have to have your things that happen that went wrong, so you also understand what goes right and what it feels like. And so, like I say, understanding what your losses feel like, and that's why I say understanding what your pain feels like, and really feel it. And really feel it and really experience it, so that when you have your bliss and your ascension and your elevation, you don't have to question that. And so that's why I say we question our beautiful things that happen to us, because all of us are so used to being down. And so all of us are so used to being mentally, physically, and spiritually in debt and missing out and not having it and being in the negative all the time in our account in life. And so a lot of us, when we finally, even just at the zero, we can't believe it. We can believe our pain, but we cannot believe our gains. We will believe what we're going through. We'll believe somebody died. We'll believe we got cancer. We'll believe all these things, but we won't believe our business is doing well. We won't believe that we can get a good man or a good woman. We won't believe that somebody can love us. We won't believe the good things that can happen to us. And so that's why I say our minds have been so messed up. And so you got to know what it looks like, because we self-sabotage. Good people come into our space, good opportunities come into our space, and we don't know how to embrace them because we don't think we deserve it, okay? And so confidence is everything, and confidence is pretty much faith, okay? And so that's where faith comes from. It derives from this, and so that's why I'm saying it's a faith in yourself, a faith in your Christ and your conscious mind, and having confidence in the things that you're filtering to your subconscious mind. And so your relationship that you have with self is so powerful, okay? It's so very powerful to understand what's going on in your mind and being able to filter out what you do need and what you don't. And so adding structure to your subconscious is so very important. And that's why the prayer and the meditation is so very important. When you giving your wife, which is your subconscious mind, a list of things to do. And so that's why you're not shocked when you're a master. You're not shocked when the beautiful things happen. You're not shocked when awesome things come into your space. You know, also when you're a master, you're not shocked when the messed up stuff comes. You're not shocked when it rains. You're always prepared, and you're always spiritually dressed in layers. Okay. And so that's what I try to do with my clients, is to always prepare them for the rain, for the sun, for the wind, whatever's going to take place in their life. You want to be dressed in layers and be prepared for everything. And so, you know, everybody's bliss looks different. And that's why I say everybody eats different. So that goes back to, it takes away from the jealousy. It takes away from what somebody else has and you looking on somebody else's plate. You're supposed to be making your order and putting your order in. So staying in your lane and minding your business is a thing. And a lot of us don't do that. You know, so we're looking at what somebody else is eating and what they got and why they got it and when they got it. And so it takes away from your own time. Okay. Understand your valleys so you can really understand your peaks. Your peaks are everything, right? But your valleys are the best. And so we put so much praise to our higher self and so much praise to our high vibrations and so much praise towards having this good energy, but put a lot of praise to your downtime. Put a lot of praise to when you do negative things and when you have negative thoughts. You have to understand that too, because that's the best part of you. That's what transmutation is. The worst part of me and everything that happened and things that taken place, and seeing the best in it and finding the jewel in it and putting that thing on my crown. Okay, and that's the true transmutation of it all. Being able to see some things that went wrong and finding something that went quite right and finding at least something positive out of it. This is how you transmute. And so this is how you release the burden out of things that could have violated you, but this can also be something that brings the power back into you. And so I wanted to say that. So as this Mercury is retrograding, it's also for you to collect what is yours, and collect everything that went wrong and inspect it. Did it really go wrong? And so that's why I say the things that don't go in our favor are very much in our favor. It's just how you look at it and what set of eyes are you using. And so if you're always looking from a point of view of defeat, yeah, you're going to always lose, you know? And so it's just how your mind works. And that's why I say understand what your bliss looks like, because we will believe our pain and we will believe our lessons, but we don't believe the good things. And so do you really trust God? Do you really trust self? You know, and a lot of us don't, and we say we do. And so think about your relationship with the divine for real. Think about your relationship with the divine for real. And we'll write things down and we'll talk about what we're going to manifest, and we don't believe it when it's happening. And so that's why I say it's almost like people, they believe in the low vibration and they believe in the devil more than they believe in the divine. So that's why I say, well, if you embrace the devil's self, if you embrace the negativity, if you embrace your downtime, it doesn't have to be downtime. It can also be when you was collecting your money. You was really down there collecting your money and counting your money and counting the things that was going quite right for you. So you didn't have to be down to be down. But I also say, let when you are in the negative be okay. So when you get back to that zero, that's the best place to be. You know, sometimes that zero is the best place to be when you're talking about the number line in life. You know, you got your negative, you got your zero, you got your positive. And of course, you want to get to that 1, that 2, that 3, but being right there at the zero is quite okay as well. Being at that zero is being born again. Being at that zero is coming through the, the womb of the universe, and you get to start fresh. And that's that death that you get to come back and rebuild. And so that zero is quite okay. That zero is better than being in the negative. And so when you're balancing yourself out, it's quite all right. But like I say, understand that and learn your wins and enjoy your wins. We've lost enough. We've been enough pain enough. Okay. And so recognize the bliss and hold on to it. And so meditation is everything because you get to listen. You get to hear when you're talking to the divine, but you have to be quiet. And so it's a feminine thing when you're taking in and you're connecting to the divine. You know, it's a feminine thing to take in and listen and submit to the divine. And so that's why I say the relationship with the self is so important, and everybody else gets to eat off of the relationship you have with self. And so build onto your relationship with self with this Mercury retrograde, because it's going to feel like you don't have your mind and you're going to feel like you don't have your hands. Mercury retrograde is almost like your hands being tied behind your back, and a lot of opportunities or situations are put in front of you, but you can't sign nothing. You know, you don't have a pen and you don't have your hands and you can't think straight. And so the universe is telling you to observe. I know you don't have the tools that you would normally have to move forward with something. And so that's why the universe is showing you your options during the retrograde, so that when it goes back direct, you can know what decision to make. And so it feels like you're having a body stutter, and it feels like somebody's putting some food or something in front of you, and you're like, dang, I can't get to it. I can't get to it. We just showing you what's on the menu. We didn't say order yet. And so that's why I say don't make any drastic moves and don't be impulsive during this retrograde, but just definitely take the time to listen. All right, because while it's in Aquarius, like I say, a lot of things are going to be shifting and changing, and so this is the best time to submit and just take it in. Don't. Ego is resistance. Ego wants to move fast, and ego thinks that it can move faster than the universe. And ego is telling the universe you're not moving fast enough. So you're going against the universe when you feel like you got to do this or do that, or you got to make a move when something. No. Take it right here, right now, and let it just happen. All right. And just surrender to the things that's happening, and you'll see why later. All right. And you'll see why later. So that's why I say let the movie rewind and then let it play. Let everything play back between now and February 20th. And even in that shadow period, you guys, it's still going to be hard to see. So, you can move, all right, but it's still going to be kind of dark out there. And so that's why the universe is always asking, how much do you trust me? All right. If I promise you a whole lot of bliss and a whole lot of things, you got the Jupiter, we have Sun, we're about to have the Moon there soon. We have Venus there now, all of those things in Aquarius. But what's on the other side of that? The amount of faith you have. And so the universe is saying, I'm always going to change things up on you. I'm always going to change the beat. But if you're good and you're aligned and you're in tune, then it doesn't matter about changing the beat. You're going to move either way. You're going to dance either way. And so all of this is always asking you about your relationship. Everything, your connections to everybody is always your relationship with the divine more than anything else. Everybody else is just a shape of it. Everybody else is just giving you a glimpse of what you needed to see, what you needed to hear at that time. And so planets pull up on you. Other people pull up on you because it's things you needed to see or hear. And so I always say you can't get mad when people deliver things to you and tell you things, right? When you look at your aspects and where the moon was and where Jupiter was and how things aspect in your chart is a reason why certain people, said things a certain way. And you can't get mad at how somebody delivers the mail. You still got to pay the bill. And so how somebody say something, your emotions are not real. You just got to take in what's really happening. All right. You still got to pay the bill. It don't matter how that mailman threw that mail at your door. It don't matter if they did it with an attitude. Your responsibility is what's in the envelope. Okay. And so your responsibility is to take in what's being said and to still be a student. And this is how you ascend. And so humility is everything. And no, we don't throw our ego away. And no, we don't throw away our lower self. Those are powerful parts of us. Okay. They show us how to move, and they show us how to lay on our stomachs, and they tell us how to move when things get low. All right. But I always say collect and enjoy the lows. Okay. And so that when you are in your high moments, you don't question those beautiful things that's happening. And we question beautiful things that happen to us. And so enjoy the lows, but it brings a lot more quality to your highs when you understand what your lows look like. And so that's why I say that. And then when you are having your high, right, you want to enjoy it, and you don't want to be scared of the low, and you don't want to be scared of falling, all right? Because you already know what your falls look like. You already know what the bottom part looks like. And so when you do rise, the only time that you look down is to pull somebody else up, okay? And so as you're ascending, it's not to be scared, and you can't be scared of heights. I always say when you're trying to ascend, you're trying to get a ticket, and you're trying to board the next plane, right? And you're trying to get to the next level in your life. And so you want to take other people with you. You want other people to board your plane. And so you want to connect to other people who move like you, think like you. However, But know how to lose so you can win, okay? And so you can really enjoy your wins. Know what the bottom of the valley looks like. So when you get to the peak of the mountain, it's quite okay. But believe that it's the peak of the mountain, all right? And so that's why I say that a lot of us are low for so long that we don't believe our highs. We just cannot believe it. But you'll believe your pain. You'll look at your wounds. You'll believe that. So know what you deserve. Know your value. Know what you deserve, and know the good thing that's coming to you. But also understand where you've gone wrong. Measure yourself. Measure yourself. And so I always say the karma of it all is when you throw a rock, that's the science of it all. It's coming back down. And so there's no time, and there's no such thing as time when you're talking about the universe. So you could have threw a rock 5 years ago, 10 years ago. All right. The karma of it all is the universe is still going to ask 10 years later who threw that rock. Damn it, you threw that rock. And so the karma of it all is there's no such thing as time. So you'll be doing beautiful things and think you've transformed your life and you're being righteous now, and something will come back and bite you later because some things you still did. You still threw that rock 10 years ago. It still got to come back down. So that's why I say if you know yourself and you're honest with yourself, you know where you've gone wrong. So you don't have to question that either. All is well, you guys. But as Mercury is going backwards, or as it appears it's going backwards, or it appears that your body or your mind or your thoughts or the way that you're even trying to say things are going backwards, also enjoy the pause, because there's other stuff going on in the background of the movie that you didn't see that you get to take in this time. All right. And you needed to see it. You needed to hear it. And it may not be comfortable, but that's okay. All right. Your discomfort is quite okay, but you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. So be uncomfortable for a second. And that's why I say, because now you know what you like and you know what your comfort looks like, and you know how to be more selective in things. So you got to be down to be up, but you have to understand what it feels like. And that's why I say you can make the adjustments in your up, and you're selective in your ups. Okay. All is well, you guys. My phone is about to die, but I wanted to just jump into that, and I hope y'all have a good night.